Well, hello everybody and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And yeah, I didn't post yesterday because I was actually in town running errands, getting ready for the bad weather that was supposed to come through, but everybody else got it except me. So what we're looking at over here, let me zoom in. Look at that, there's snow in the mountains. First time this year, snow in the mountains. Oh my gosh. Go figure. Now they've been socked in all day over there with really dark gray clouds. Now the clouds have moved over and it's raining over there, but it's not raining here. And let me zoom out so I don't forget to do that, but you can see the rain coming down over there. It's been pretty nasty and it's cold. It's cold today. I actually had to put a sweatshirt on because shorts and a t-shirt wasn't going to do it. Of course, I still got flip-flops on. But anyway, yeah, there's the rain over there, the clouds. There's rain over there with the big clouds. There's rain over there, the big clouds. Everybody got rain except me. Although, last night, just before I was going to go in from the new porch room into the regular cabin, I heard some pitter-patter on the roof. And I said, oh, it's raining. And sure enough, it was just a little sprinkle that came down. Only lasted maybe 45 seconds, tops. So I said, well, that wasn't anything. Well, I don't know if any more came down over the night. I didn't hear it. I slept really well. But just for the heck of it, I came over here to my my new system here with my first flush, and I turned this on, and guess what? There's a little bit of water in there. So I did get something off the roof. I haven't checked the other one yet. But while I'm over here, you'll notice that the garden hose is hung back up, and that's finally I got that put back. But let me take it off of here for a second, and I'm going to bring it over here and set it on the table. I'll hang it back up after the video. But I wanted to show you this thing. These things are pretty cool. The water down there is because I had to purge the air out of the system after I moved the garden hose line from inside the cabin out over to here. Now these things are to cover your faucets for the winter so they won't freeze. And you got a little stop here that's got a little push button on it so it'll slide. So what you do is on the inside of this, if you only have a T-handle, you can slip this over the T-handle. But since I don't have a T-handle, I put it over this thing, over the spigot itself. And then, well, it's going to be hard to do one-handed here, but let's see if I can get it done. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to use this hand to move that over until I can grab a hold of the stretcher here. And then you just slide that stop into place and press against the house. And now that thing is locked over the spigot so it won't freeze. Pretty cool, huh? They've got them in plastic and they've got them in the styrofoam. They're $1.20 or something difference in cost, but they're cheap. They're $3 or $4. So it's worth it to keep your pipes from freezing. Now that faucet that I have on there is actually an anti-freeze type shark bite. And it's got a big cup on it that's supposed to insulate from the cold from getting to the pipe area where the water is and freezing it. But just to be sure, one of these things for a couple of dollars, it's worth it. That one down there is actually the temporary drain for my laundry. So I'll be able to hook a old garden hose on there, not a good clean one, but an old garden hose on there, and I'll run that out to my gray water pit. And yeah, I had to run some out here and drain it down. Drain down the barrel so that I could work on it. Let's see if there's any in this one. Oh yeah, just a little bit. Like I said, it was about 45 seconds worth of sprinkle, and that was it. And then today, I saw a little bit get onto the windows, and I thought it was going to rain. It never did. All right, so here's my barrel, and I've got a valve down there that punched through the wall, so I can, that's a gate valve, so I can open it up, hook a hose on the outside, and I can drain my wastewater or my gray water off from this barrel. This is all temporary until I get some trenching done outside, and then I'll be putting in a regular drain that goes off of here, and then I'll go up right through the top here and put a vent going to the outside. But I made some changes. So I've been working in here, and I sit down and have lunch, whatever, at my little table over there, and then I get to thinking, well, that'd be nice if I did that. Let me modify this a little bit. So here's my pantry cabinet, and I was talking about having a door right here. Well, that changed. That's going to be just regular drywall. Over here on this side, I'm going to have two small 15-inch doors. This is about 30 inches wide. So I can open the door up here or open the door up there. And then I've got a place to put my vacuum cleaner, which I didn't have before. I just stuck it up in a corner in the bedroom, and it's not put away. So I wanted a place to put it away, so there it goes. Then I started thinking about shelving because I'm taking up half the cabinet there. Well, this broom, which I've always hung on a hook here, what I'm going to do is on the inside of this door, the door on the left side, I'm going to put two spring clip hooks that clip around the handle of a broom, and I'll snap that on the inside of the door. So when I open the door, the broom doesn't swing. It'll be locked in place. And of course, the dustpan clips right onto the broom anyway, so they'll always be together. And then right beside it might be room for me to hang a mop too. So that I'll have both right inside of the door there. Now on this side, I put this one in because I had this old shelf that originally was my little table for eating breakfast inside of the original cabin in here. And if you remember in some of the old videos, I had it mounted on the top of that cabinet door right there so that I could sit down there and have breakfast. Well, I said, well, let me try that out because it's kind of beat up and everything, but I can still use it for a test piece. So what I did was I put metal brackets underneath here and mounted that on there. And then I tried it out with my pressure steamer and my glass bowl. And then I put my big stock pot down on the bottom. And I said, well, when I'm ready to set it in place, I'm going to lower that down until I just have enough room for the stock pot underneath. And I can still put another pot right in front of it here, which I have up there on top of the cabinet. So it's the same type of pot, and I'll just put it right next to it. Or I can put the other one right inside of this one and then still have room for another pot there. So then if I move that down, then I'll be able to get one more shelf in here just before I get to the height of the handle of the unit. So I'll have half shelves on this side coming up to this point, and then I'll put a full shelf in there. But I'm not going to go the whole depth from here to the back because that's just going to be, even if I do pull-outs on that, it's just going to be stuff that gets all the way in the back there that never gets used, and then you throw it out. So I'm going to cut that down to a 12-inch deep shelf in the back here, going 30 inches across. And then I'll do a few of those shelves so I can put my canned goods that I have in, when I can my chili con carne and stuff like that, or my vegetables, or maybe some eggs or whatever. I can put them all on a shelf, and then I'll still have the upper shelves. I'll be able to put stuff like empty mason jars, so I don't have to go out to the container to get mason jars when I need to can something. You know, you go out there and grab two mason jars. Well, if I've got them right here inside, why not? So over here, I decided, well, I don't even have to build this wall out. The only thing I really have to cover up is that piece of Romex wire for safety reasons. So instead of shimming this whole wall out, putting a false wall there just for one wire, I'm going to put a piece of EMT conduit into the bottom of the box. I'll strip all of the outer casing off of the Romex, because you shouldn't put Romex in conduit, all the way over to where it comes through into the wall here. And then I'll have my hole drilled in the wall, and I'll just have a piece of conduit there that'll house that one piece of wire. I don't have to hide everything else. You can see I use shark bite on the plumbing down there. That's where the old hose bib was, and it comes around the corner there. That's the nice thing about this, is no soldering. It's all push-on connectors, and you can bend it in the corners. So, well, you got me sold on that. I've been soldering copper pipe for years, or doing galvanized pipe for plumbing. Oh my God, what a time saver this stuff is. You get these little L's, they make all the different fittings, 45s, L's, unions, caps, you name it. And even the hose bibs are just push on. And even the laundry connectors are just push on. So I've got all of that all done already, so why even bring that wall out? So now I'm going to have a 5-foot opening across here with sliding doors, okay? And I'm probably going to make the doors, because I want them taller than what I can buy a regular door in the store for. Although that might change down the line, I don't know. Because what I'm going to do is, on this back wall up here, I am going to custom build cabinets up there, 16-inch deep cabinets, and they're going to be 3 feet tall. So they'll start from the ceiling, come down 3 feet. And then I'll be able to keep all of my laundry stuff right here above the washer inside of a cabinet, inside of the closet. So it'll be a nice, neat setup. And then the cabinets over on this side, I'll actually be able to keep my clean towels and extra sheets and stuff like that will all be on shelves in the cabinets on this side. So it'll be like 4 cabinets going across here, all with their own little door on them. And it'll be from wall to wall, 3 feet tall. Hey, perfect for me. That's exactly what I need. And of course, my security camera will move out of there, because I don't need it inside of the laundry. But that was the one that was outside before, and it looks right at my door now. So I'll just leave it there for a little while. And I can see that window, that door, and this window in that camera. So it's doing its purpose. And then later on, I'll just bring the wire across through the attic, and I'll put it outside up on the eaves out there, so that it goes back to what it was doing, looking at the outside and watching if anybody approaches the door of the cabin. All right, I got my propane heater out here, because like I said, it is cold, and it was down to about 55 degrees in here. And I said, that's a little chilly. So got my little space heater over here and kicked that on. And this place is right now at just about 71 degrees. Just nice, comfortable, quiet. I can hear the turbine blowing out there, but I don't feel it in here. And I can take my sweatshirt off. And I'm going to do all of that because I'm going to close this off now, everybody. Got all my caulking yesterday, and that's so I can finish caulking everything on the outside. But the weather today stopped me from doing that. I was in and out, had my saw outside trying to cut wood, and then the rains or sprinkles started. I had to run and get everything inside, so it's in here on the floor. Well, tomorrow's another day, right? Although they said this is supposed to drag on for the next couple of days. We'll see. G-Bear reminding you, give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends. If there's anything you need to know, leave it in the comment sections. Remember, I don't answer legal questions. I don't answer personal security questions or personal location questions. So even as simple as they may sound to you, for security reasons, I don't do that stuff. All right, G Bear signing off.